The poetry of Robert Browning, an introduction. With classics such as My Last Duchess and The Pied Piper of Hamelin, Robert Browning's status as one of the great Victorian poets will always be secure in popular culture. For the more literary, he is considered a master of dramatic verse and dramatic monologues. It is interesting to note that his career bloomed late. Indeed, it was only after the death of his wife Elizabeth in 1861 and his return to England from their life in Italy that his work came into wider acceptance and critical acclaim. In the last years of his life, he recorded part of a poem on a wax cylinder which was played after his death. It was said to be the first time anyone's voice had been heard from beyond the grave.
My Last Duchess. That's my last Duchess painted on the wall, looking as if she were alive. I call that piece a wonder now. Fra Pandolf's hands worked busily a day, and there she stands. Will please you to sit and look at her? I said Fra Pandolf by design, for never read strangers like you that pictured countenance, the depth and passion of its earnest glance, but to myself they turned, since none puts by the curtain I have drawn for you but I, and seemed as they would ask me, if they durst, how such a glance came there. So not the first are you to turn and ask thus. Sir, 'twas not her husband's presence only called that spot of joy into the Duchess' cheek. Perhaps Fra Pandolf chanced to say, her mantle laps over my lady's wrist too much, or paint must never hope to reproduce the faint half-flush that dies along her throat. Such stuff was courtesy, she thought, and cause enough for calling up that spot of joy. She had a heart, how shall I say, too soon made glad, too easily impressed. She liked whate'er she looked on, and her looks went everywhere. Sir, 'twas all one. My favour at her breast, the dropping of the daylight in the west, the bough of cherries some officious fool broke in the orchard for her, the white mule she rode with round the terrace, all and each would draw from her alike the approving speech, or blush at least. She thanked men, good, but thanked, somehow, I know not how, as if she ranked my gift of a 900-years-old name with anybody's gift. Who'd stoop to blame this sort of trifling? Even had you skill in speech, which I have not, to make your will quite clear to such an one, and say, just this or that in you disgusts me, here you miss or there exceed the mark. And if she let herself be lessoned so, nor plainly set her wits to yours forsooth, and made excuse, e'en then would be some stooping, and I choose never to stoop. Oh, sir, she smiled, no doubt, whene'er I passed her, but who passed without much the same smile? This grew, I gave commands, then all smiles stopped together. There she stands, as if alive. Will't please you rise? We'll meet the company below then. I repeat, the Count, your master's known munificence, is ample warrant that no just pretence of mine for dowry will be disallowed. Though his fair daughter's self, as I avowed at starting, is my object. Nay, we'll go down together, sir. Notice Neptune, though, taming a seahorse, thought a rarity, which Claus of Innsbruck cast in bronze for me.
Among the Rocks by Robert Browning. Oh, good gigantic smile, oh the brown old earth, this autumn morning. How he sets his bones to bask in the sun, and thrusts out knees and feet for the ripple to run over in its mirth. Listening the while, where on the heap of stones the white breast of the sea lark twitters sweet. That is the doctrine, simple, ancient, true. Such is life's trial, as old earth smiles and knows. If you loved only what were worth your love, love were clear gain, and wholly well for you. Make the low nature better by your throes. Give earth yourself, go up for gain above.
Memorabilia. Ah, did you once see Shelley plain? And did he stop and speak to you? And did you speak to him again? How strange it seems, and new. But you were living before that. and also you are living after, and the memory I started at, my starting moves your laughter. I crossed a moor with a name of its own, and a certain use in the world, no doubt, yet a hand's breadth of it shines alone mid the blank miles round about. For there I picked up on the heather, and there I put inside my breast a moulted feather, an eagle feather. Well, I forget the rest.